Thank you guys for joining our weekly meetup. We're going to be covering these things today. We're going to be covering the marketing results. We're going to cover the Bitcoin. We're going to cover a Bitcoin halving, the Solana pricing, and how it relates to TradeBot. We're going to cover the white paper. We're going to cover pay to raid, and then we're going to then discuss next steps going forward. And I just saw that Davonta joined, so we'll also be able to do a little mini update for the B2B, which is pretty exciting. So I'm going to, does anybody have any questions before I get started? Okay. So the results of the actual marketing campaign, it was kind of successful, but not as successful as I would have liked to have seen. When you go back and look at the chart itself, you can see that there definitely was an increase. So from here to here, this is the weekend where the marketing campaign took place. There was an increase of 20%, which was positive. But, however, this dip right here is actually not people selling. Like, this dip occurred around this time frame where people had two people sold right here. When people sold their airdrops, two people sold airdrops. This price went down because the price of Solana went down. So as we were going up, the price of Solana was around 150. Then Bitcoin took a dump down below 60,000. Because Bitcoin took that dump, Solana also went down in price. It went from 150 to like around 130-ish, somewhere around there. And because of that, these sales of airdrops drastically reduced the price, and not because of anything that was related to us, our mechanics. You can see it right here. This is actually a better representation. If you look at our Solana, to TradeBot trading ratio, you can see that it's only a slight decline here. Okay, so you can see that we're actually very robust when it comes to the market volatility. I mean, Bitcoin dropped from 150 to, or like 60 to 55 or something like that, and then you also have Solana going from 150 down to the 130ish rate. So there was a slight decline here. This person right here was sold, and that's the $500 person right here. So this person selling right here, that's what caused that dent right there. But everything else, it was just slight airdrop sales. Okay. So that being said, I also wanted to discuss the Bitcoin halving to you guys. Does anybody have any questions on this so far? All right. Let's see if I can find the Bitcoin halving chart. It's a very popular chart. Here we go. Yes, this is it right here. Okay. So, are you guys familiar with the Bitcoin halving? Yes. No.
No, I forget about that. How does it work?
Okay. Cool. So, back in the beginning, Satoshi Nakamoto was the one who invented Bitcoin. Nobody knows who he is, which is hilarious. But the designer of Bitcoin wanted to make it be organic as it grew and was adopted by the community. So there was a lot of foresight in this. And the way to incentivize the miners to run the computer system, which is the blockchain, to incentivize the miners to continue them having to run the blockchain, he would award them freshly minted Bitcoin. And so they were getting a lot of Bitcoin at the beginning, okay? But what he set in place was every 4 years there would be an event called a halving, and what that means is the miners don't get as much Bitcoin as they did before. In fact, they only get half of the Bitcoin. They get awarded half of the Bitcoin for every new block that they mine. All right, so that means that the incentives go down for them. The reason that they're making it go down and why Bitcoin hasn't died because of that is because there's also fees involved in transactions. So whenever you do a transaction in Bitcoin, you got to pay a small fee, and then that fee goes to the miners. All right. So when they were planning this out, and I mean, very cool foresight. Like as they were planning this out, they were thinking, okay, Bitcoin's going to be worth so much at this point that the fees will be able to take up. They'll be able to pay. They'll actually be able to pay the miners even more, or the Bitcoin will be worth so much more at that point that the miners will be able to get more proceeds from managing the blockchain. So they incrementally made it so that, or decrementally made it so that they would reduce to have the prizes or the reward amounts so that it would be balanced with the fees themselves. Does that make sense? Um, so when they started doing this, it's a whole new thing, right? But what they noticed was this was the first halving right here. After the first halving, what happened was the supply went down. And because the miners were not able to generate as much Bitcoin, there was a supply shortage, and we saw that the price skyrocketed right afterwards. So the first halving was November 9, 2012. Or what is it? I'm you know I'm not being exact here, so don't quote me on this. But like November 28, 2012, it looks like that's when the first halving was. It was around $12.10. Uh, you could see that there was like a leveling off here, and then boom, it skyrocketed up to $150. Crazy about, and that's because the supply of Bitcoin was reduced, and as more buyers started coming in, they were actually able to increase the price. And so this kept on going forward, and you can see some dips. It's crypto, so you guys have already experienced the volatility of crypto. It actually then went up to $873, and then it just took a huge dive after that. Okay, so this right here is called the bear market, and you could see that the prices went down to 283, 232, even though the high was at 808. The next halving after that was on July. I'm just gonna. We're looking at it here. Don't quote me on this. July 10th, 2016. All right. So it was picking up a little bit. It got to 649 dollars, and then the $649 kept building up. You can see the ups and downs here, the dips. This is all crypto volatility, but it was able to get to a high of $18,972. Okay. And so you're able to do all of that, and then it went back down, and it took a huge dip where it went from 18,000 to 3,668, and then it just keeps on going up and down. And then the next halving event was May 9, 2020, where it was around let's just say look, $9,541. You can then see it like just taper off here. There was not a lot of activity, and then boom, it started skyrocketing, and then you could see it get up to $60,000. This is in 4/17/2021. This event was 5/9/2020. So it takes a few months for this effect to be seen, right? And so as it starts going up, you're going to see that it reaches a high of 60,000. It went back down, and then it actually almost came up to the high again. It actually got up to a high of 64, and then we have our bear market here where it just goes down, and then it starts slowly picking back up. And the reason everybody's excited about this year is because we had another halving on April. So this, I don't know the exact date, April 22nd. Let's just say April 22nd. Around the April 22nd time frame, we had another halving event, and you could see here that it was at $66,000. So now the question is, what is going to happen here? Okay, and a lot of people are speculating that it's going to repeat. It's just going to repeat, and it's going to start going back up. Okay, and so this is what helps us because as Bitcoin goes, so you're probably asking, how come I don't just buy Bitcoin? I mean, you could buy Bitcoin, but if you want to have exit, like rat race exit money, if you want to have like generational wealth, like that's the whole point of TradeBot, is we're like a rubber band that's hanging on Bitcoin and or hanging on Solana, which is hanging off of Bitcoin. So so the thought is Bitcoin is going to go up, right? And as it starts going up, it's going to take Solana with it, and as it takes Solana with it, it automatically takes TradeBot with it. And so the goal is that when we get to a peak here, we're going to be able to have a prime opportunity for people to sell and cash out, uh, and also um, we're built for robustness. We're built for volatility. So as the price starts going down and the price of Solana goes down, then we'll be able to, the bot is going to be there to be able to catch the dip, buy the dip. And then as this volatility happens, you see this up and down movement. TradeBot is also making money on this and doing the buys and burns also. So does anybody have any questions on that? Port price below the current price. So all they're doing is they're taking these points and they're extrapolating them down. Okay. And they notice that when you draw these lines that you do have some points here, these maximums actually create like this resistance level. Okay. And then here you can see where the lows follow this bottom line, and this is the support level. And if you follow, if you can give this, like, this is all speculation, but when you look at this chart, and if it's 100%, there's 100% certainty there, then you're going to see that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. And with that, it will carry with it Solana, and with it, it will also carry TradeBot as well. So this is why I'm not really worried about. I'm really not worried about the volatility of crypto, because we can see here that we have the halving event behind us, and then we also have this power curve that shows that Bitcoin will continue to go up. So here, what basically this means is the lowest value of Bitcoin at 2026 will be 51,284, but it could also reach a high of $518,000 per Bitcoin. Okay, and as you keep going up, you can see that these high values for Bitcoin are just crazy. So this right here is 2029. This is about 1.1 million. And then here, the lowest value of Bitcoin that you ever get to is $132,387. Okay. So again, the question is, wait up, how come I'm not going into Bitcoin? Well, it's because if you get into Bitcoin, it costs $60,000, right? $60,000 compared to 132,000, that's only doubling your money. 373 to 60, what is that? That's a 6 times amount. That's 600%. That's all right. And then you have 1.1, a little bit higher, but imagine what you could be doing with you had TradeBot. Like with TradeBot, you will have it'll be, this multiplier would be so much more than what you see here with Bitcoin. And the reason for that is because the price of Bitcoin will go up. It'll make Solana skyrocket. So this price point, Solana would be like what, like $1,000 or something crazy like that. And then because of that, and we have a 1-to-1 ratio between TradeBot and Solana, your TradeBot is actually worth a lot more money. Like, it doesn't even matter if anybody buys or sells. The TradeBot itself would be worth so much more because Solana is worth so much more. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this? And of course, if you want to diversify, also recommend you buy a little bit of Bitcoin, because you can see these trends that there's a lot of high hopes for Bitcoin going into the future. Okay. No questions? All right, let's go ahead and go into the white paper. So this is our white paper. This thing, first of all, I want to thank Dennis for getting me all the data for this. We spent a lot of time trying to find data points that have the complete history of a meme coin, which surprisingly is very difficult to find and get without actually trying to code and connect to the blockchain itself. And so we were able to find 2 meme coins to study. One was Bunny and one was Brett. As I started doing the case study on Brett, I realized that we don't really have to do an analysis of Bunny, because I just jumped straight through making an analysis of TradeBot. And so yeah, I'll cover that as we go forward. So Dennis, thank you very much for that. So this white paper is a tool for all of you guys to be able to market this to friends and family. So this is our video right here. What is TradeBot? And then our white paper here is very detailed, very extensive, and it helps people understand what we're trying to do. Okay. So TradeBot is a community-owned meme coin on the Solana blockchain designed to protect holders from market dumps through its innovative self-healing technology. This white paper explores the current culture of meme coins, the application of the greater fool theory, and the broader ramifications for investors. So uh, it's basically set up into it's good. It's set up in two steps. The first step is we want to look at meme coins and why they're so horrible. Well, they're not horrible. There are use cases for meme coins. They're gambling tools. It's basically gambling, right? And that's what people love about it because it allows them. It is their opportunity to break out of the rat race, basically. However, they're extremely dangerous, and people can lose a lot of money from them. So we're going to explore the culture of meme coins, and then we're going to talk about what the greater fool theory is, and then we introduce TradeBot self-healing technology, which aims to safeguard holders and strengthen the Solana community. By examining a case study of the Brett token, we will demonstrate how TradeBot stabilizes token prices and benefits holders, encouraging new investors to join the TradeBot and Solana communities. All right. So the current culture of meme coins here. So basically, like I said, these are all meme coins are basically gambling tokens, and they're gambling tokens in the sense that they're very easy to make. They're all based on the marketing of the meme itself, which is the picture that you use for the token. And there's all sorts of creative stories that they put to these meme coins. I've seen things like the Trump meme coin, Trump versus Biden meme coin. There's the Pepe meme coin, which is the green frog, the popular green frog. There's the Brett meme coin. There are celebrity meme coins. There are if you could come up with a little theme. I even saw this like kind of a cute thing where it was the fire brother and the ice sister meme coin, and they try to make it a competition to see which coin could beat the other coin type of thing. So it's all about like there's a lot of creativity involved with creating the coin, but it's like short-sighted creativity. They paste on a cool theme and then they run it type of thing. And so a funny thing that I noticed also is that they don't even care about this is how uh, short-sighted they are. Like they don't even care if the coin, survives or dies. Once they abandon the coin, they will take the exact same artwork, the exact same website, everything, and then slap it onto a new coin. So in here, we describe how a search for Brett returned over 5,000 results spanning across multiple blockchains. So this is how popular this Brett cartoon character is that they use this Brett icon, or they use the same Brett. They made 5,000 different Brett tokens, and you can see here because all of these addresses are different. So they made a 5,000 across the entire crypto ecosystem. So there's 3,871 on Base, 656 on Solana, 245 on Ethereum, 172 on BNB, and so on and so forth. And these are just all about making money. But the problem is that there's rug pulls. So we go in here and we explain what is a developer rug pull. A developer rug pull is where the token creators, so they create it, right? They already have a bunch of free coin in their pockets. And then when the price goes up, they sell everything, which dumps the price and it leaves everybody else with zero value. So it's where the token creators suddenly sell off all of their holdings and they leave investors scrambling to recover their losses. The impact can be particularly devastating. And for example, in the case of Brett, 63.8% of all traders were negatively impacted. So investors who didn't sell early were left holding their bags, enduring significant losses in the value of their holdings. Such scenarios are all too common in the world of meme coins, leading to a general consensus that the best strategy is to get in and get out quickly. So if you go back down here, and I'm going to show some charts in a little bit, but the application of the greater fool theory, you can use this for like the sale of tulips. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the whole tulip case, and I think it was in the 1700s. People were buying and selling tulips, actual flowers, and they thought because they were They were kind of like collectibles, and they were looking for like the most popular like strands of tulips. And it's a very popular case of the whole pump and dump mechanism in the market. Because back then people were buying these tulips for thousands of dollars, and back then that was like a lot of money, right? And then you just see the price of them drop dramatically and leaving just a lot of people devastated. And what the application of the greater fool theory is that uh, the investment success relies on finding a greater fool to purchase the asset at a higher price. So that means that I buy something for $50. The only way I can profit from this is to sell this $50 asset to somebody else for like $55, and then now he's on the hook, but I was able to actually profit the $5, and then I can walk away from the whole situation. This is something that's very prevalent with NFTs as well. So like it's it's all driven by this type of by this strategy. I mean, you could even say the same thing for stocks too. It's all about who can I sell this to for a higher price? Who's willing to pay the higher price for this? Um, and so we then go on and say meme coins utilize liquidity pools to facilitate seamless transactions. So with crypto, you use liquidity pools. So remember how I was talking about the vending machines? The vending machines are the ones that dictate the price, and the vending machines allow buyers and sellers to go back and forth with that vending machine to buy and sell their token. All right. So you're not actually buying and selling to somebody else. You're buying and selling to the vending machine itself, the liquidity pool. And so I wanted to make that distinction because it's very important. So a liquidity pool can be viewed as a vending machine that allows a trader to swap one token for another. The liquidity pool uses a mathematical formula to determine the swap rate so that one coin is never fully depleted. So that's something to consider. The liquidity pool will make it so that one coin never, ever, ever gets depleted. So there will always be Solana in our liquidity pool. Might not be a lot, might be like a little bit of dust, right? But there's always going to be Solana in there. When a person buys a meme coin from the liquidity pool, the price goes up. Conversely, when a person sells a meme coin to the liquidity pool, the price goes down. All right. And then, so this zero-sum game ensures that every winner corresponds to a loser. Our case study of the Brett token will demonstrate this dynamic with charts showing the disparity between winners and losers among token holders. So this is the Brett token here. We have our contract address. So this is actually a real token. If you go in here and you open up the link, you'll go to Dex Tools and it'll actually show you it's called Brett on Sol. It'll show you the chart right here. You can see it spike all the way to the top, and then you could just see it fall dramatically here. And so we go ahead and we analyze this. And so you can see that we have the chart here within the white paper itself. And then as you scroll down, we take a look at, and this is probably actually worse now, so maybe I might want to update this, but the state of Brett investors on 6/26/2024, okay, this is what surprising to me. 646 traders sold for a loss. Like this is how paranoid they are about the whole meme coin culture. Is they're like, we got to get out of this now. So like they try to time it, they realize, oh, I failed, I got to get out. 646 people sold for a loss and they exited. 549 people actually sold for a profit, but that's the thing, they sold for a profit. They were able to exit out of it and then leave. And then we still have 524 people who are holding at a loss. So these people either forgot to sell and like they just stepped away and didn't realize that it just dumped on them. And now they're stuck with these, they're called bag holders now. They're stuck with all of this almost worthless token and they're just sitting there waiting for it to come back up in the hopes that they will be able to get some profit from it. And then here we have 112 investors who are still in the green, who are holding, but this number is actually going to go down as time progresses. So let me see if I can find. So Brett was 1919. Okay, so it was 0.0001919. If we go back over here and look at what the current price is, it's 1918. Oh, it actually went up a little bit. Did it go up? No. Price. Oh, it went down to 1371. So you guys see this right here? It's actually gone down even more. So if I go back and update this, we'll be able to see that this number is going to go down even more. Like people are just getting devastated by this coin, right? The winners are already out. This number is going to go down. This is going to go up even higher, and it's just going to be probably around like 70% of all people have been hurt by this meme coin. So it just shows, and then you can see right here, we break it down by distribution of net value for Brett traders. And so you could see that one person was able to make between 3,000 and 3,100. This is most likely the dev and his like insiders. So all the people that were up front. So these are the guys that were making a lot of money. But then over here, we have what are the numbers? 1,018 investors who have a net value of less than zero. So these guys are in the negative. They haven't lost $100. They're between zero and negative $100, but you could see that there is definitely some loss there for them. And then there was one gentleman that lost around 2,000, between $2,000, $2,200 and $2,100. So this person had a bad day. Okay. So now what we want to do in the white paper is we explain the self-healing technology and how our buy and burn approach, leveraging consistent revenue streams to purchase and burn tokens, it allows you to increase the token price, and burning tokens signals to the community a commitment not to dump tokens back into the market. So this is back to what we were talking about with the liquidity pool. When TradeBot or the trading engine is profiting, it takes those profits, injects the liquidity pool with Solana for the rest of the holders to then be able to use to sell into. In essence, TradeBot is the greater fool. So like this is TradeBot is always putting Solana into the liquidity pool so that our holders do not get hurt. And this is what separates us from the other meme coins. We still have potential for volatility. You guys have seen that. We've seen during the coin market cap how we went all the way up to 0.002. Like there is plenty of opportunity for this thing to go up and down, plenty of opportunity for people to make profit. But with our self-healing technology, we're making a safety net for everybody so that if people do get wrecked, like this person right here, who is negative $2,200 in the hole, by holding our self-healing, we'll be able to pick them back up, get them back on their feet again. And so what we wanted to do here is I wanted to simulate the liquidity pool with self-healing technology. And this is basically to show you what happens when our healing technology is applied to Brett. So if I just stopped buying and burning for a TradeBot and I just started applying it to Brett, this is what actually happens. So we have a $0 heal rate, and you can see that here that nothing happens, right? So this is a typical meme coin behavior, okay? And then we start adding $10 daily buy and burn rate. And you can see that there is a slight healing effect here. And this is the course over a let's see, what is it? What's the end date is 12. So by the end of the year, 12/6/2024, we're looking at a 6-month period here. So over a 6-month period here, you can see a small healing rate, and that's $10. With the $100 healing rate, it skyrockets crazy. Okay, within 6 months, it's already at 0.003, and it's already beaten at the high of Brett. Okay. Then when you get to $1,000 daily burn rate, you can't even see the original chart anymore because this thing just skyrocketed up. And you're between 30 to 33 cents at this point. And then that was it. I didn't even show a 10,000 because you can already see that with this healing rate, the way this coin was designed, it was designed to be like a tiny coin. It only had 100,000 supply. We have 1 billion. But because it only had 100,000 supply, this right here accelerates the price immediately here. Okay. So then what I wanted to do was I wanted to show what happens or what are the projections for TradeBot going forward. Okay. And so TradeBot, I downloaded all of the transaction history for TradeBot here. And so this is our current, as of 6/29, so 6/30, this is our this is all of our real data, all of our transaction history. And as a side note, I also have all the wallet history too. So I know exactly, I don't know who they are, but I have all the investor data too. Who are all the people that are actually holding in all of this? And so as we go down to our timeline of events, I explain different I explain different events on the timeline just to show you that not everything is based off TradeBot, the self healing technology. I don't want to take credit when it's not due. There is a lot of hype and marketing events that actually went into our price early on. Okay, actually, there was a lot of hype in our coin early on because people were just going crazy buying it up. Okay, and so you can see here that the coin market cap listing was on May 22nd, 2024. This right here was a very positive moment for us because we could see how crazy volumes can get and how they were able to drive the price up to double our previous at the high, right? Almost double. I explained different events on here. On May 30th, 2024, TradeBot launched a significant airdrop campaign distributing 5,000 TradeBot tokens to each over 800 wallets. So right now we have 487 wallets. That is a lot of selling pressure that was put on our that's put on the token itself. And so you're gonna it's been a continual battle with it to be able to keep the price stabilized. And you can see that we've been somewhat successful with it, and you can see it being stabilized here and going up. The thing is that when there are large sellers, then that's where we have to start the process all over again and try to heal it back up to the original price. Okay. I explained an MEV bot incident, which is basically, we already discussed this before, how you have a bot who will buy before somebody else instantaneously and then sell afterwards, making that person, it's making the victim pay more for their token, and the bot was able to buy and sell at a small, profit, like $30 or something like that. So in this case, though, this spike is right here. This spike is misleading because you think that, oh, look, people went up or buying a bunch and it went. No, this was just one bot that did that. So I'm explaining that event, and yeah, we then talk about a seller cash out, and then we talk about the marketing blitz. So June 29th, that is actually when we started the marketing campaign, and you could see the 20% increase here. And now we know what happened is with Solana going down from 150 to 130, that reduced it. So those marketing dollars are pretty much canceled out. So I'm not a big fan of marketing right now. Let's see here. So let's go on and see, what does the healing do? So right now what we're doing, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to show, okay, with our current trading data and with a $20 healing rate, which in the month of June, this is what we were averaging, you're looking here only at a very slight increase. And we're looking over here we're looking over a year's time frame. So in a year's time frame here, we're only looking at an increase to 0.0011. So let's look at the assumptions real quick, just so that, because Solana probably is going to go up too, so that'll actually go up a little bit. But let's look at so yeah, let me go through some of the stuff here. So the liquidity pool status here at this point is there's 370 SOL in the liquidity pool. There's 44 million TradeBot in the liquidity pool, and these simulations are like exact to real life behavior. So we were able to make it so that in the Brett example, I had that thing matching real world transactions. Like I would take data from the transaction, I would take like the USD amount, and then I would put it into the liquidity pool that I wrote, and it will give out the exact same value that the actual trading data had. So all of the stuff that I showed you above with Brett, that is exact. That if those scenarios ran out in real life, it would actually happen the way it's mapped out. With TradeBot though, I got it down to 0.00001 accuracy, so I was not able to get it to match exactly, but there is from a TradeBot perspective, it's pretty much almost exact. And so you can expect these things. You can expect any of these scenarios to play out the way they do. But there are some assumptions I had to make for this. One, there are going to be no sellers. Okay, so this is just with everything already frozen in time, because I just wanted to show, I wanted to isolate what does the healing rate do to the price, and I just wanted to look at that by itself. And another thing is, I don't know what the price of Solana is going to be in the future. If the price of Solana goes up, then you'll see this line go up. If the price of Solana goes down, then you'll see this line go down because the price is in USD. Okay, so I'm assuming that the price of Solana stays the same because I'm more interested in the mechanics and the effect. But there are still other variables that come into play. I just want you guys to understand. Okay, so you could see here that with the $20 healing rate, it's not that dramatic of a price change. But what I also want to point out though is look at this healing rate. This healing rate is parallel with this healing rate. So you could see like, oh shoot, like this simulation's realistic. Like these are the things that you can take away from this is you could see that this $20 healing rate is actually in line with this and what it was down over here. If you actually scroll down, you will see if you go like to another chart, you'll see that we have up and down movement, but it's also following that trend line of what we had over here. Okay. So that's the $20 heal rate. Our goal is to get to a $100 heal rate and higher. Okay. And so with the $100 heal rate, you could see that this price beats at the high at around February 10th, 2025, right here, right? And it keeps on going up. So again, this is ideal. So we're basically creating the ceiling here. We're basically saying this is what you can realistically expect if everything is perfect. So like if everybody has diamond hands and everybody's holding, right? If the price of Solana stays at $132, and just from looking at this, you'll see that the price will go up to 0.0025. We looked at a $500 TradeBot burn rate, and in this case, within a year's time frame, we get to 1 cent. So right here at 1 cent, we're looking at 1 cent at around the end of the year. So January 30th, or a little bit over the year, January 30th, 2025, you'll see 1 cent. This is with the $500 heal rate, and then at a $1,000 heal rate, you can start seeing the initial data starting to disappear, and you could see that we get to 5 cents. Wait, what did I say over here? Oh yeah, 1 cent. We're getting to 5 cents here. And then the crazy thing is, what happens if we can get to a $10,000 burn rate? For us to produce $10,000, that's a lot. So we have that. I'm not even bringing in the B2B, the business here. We have multiple. As we start creating multiple revenue streams, we're going to try to get this thing up to around the $10,000 per day. Like if we can do that per day, then you'll start seeing prices. You can realistically expect at the high end of of our projections $4 per trade bot. Oh gosh! And look, you can see the initial transaction has disappeared. Like you can't even see it anymore. It's skyrocketed so much. So our goal is to get to this point right here. Okay. And the thing is it's going to be a slow and steady. It's going to be a methodical, journey for us because this $20 heal rate, it is protecting the investor somewhat. So you got to take a step back. Like nobody's going to hand this to us for free, right? We all want to get out of the rat race. Nobody's going to hand it to us for free. We're going to have to fight and grind for it, basically. And one of the things that one of the positive things that I want to show you guys is this is our coin, right? This right here is a typical meme coin. So you can already see that we are changing the paradigm. We are making it so that people still have value in their coin itself. We are fighting to maintain that value. Whereas when you look at these pump and dump coins, even though Solana is getting, the Solana perception is that it is now a casino. And I am sure the founders of Solana don't want that. I'm sure that the founders of Solana want to be known as an innovative and technological, you know, platform that's going to take over the Ethereum network, basically. Like they want to be known as almost as big as Bitcoin, basically. But to be known as a casino and a place of scams, people don't like that, right? And so what we're doing is we're doing a service to the Solana community and to the network itself because we're making it so that it is a place of value. Okay, so our goal is how do we get from the $20 heal rate up to the $100 heal rate, up to the $500 heal rate, and then all the way up to the $10,000 heal rate. And so that's where I am still writing the rest of the white paper for this. Okay, because I do have simulations where I am running what happens when sellers are selling at 10% return, 50% or 500% return, 100% return. Like what happens when they start doubling their money, type of thing. What happens when we have people who are swing trading? Like those are the type of questions I want to have because I want to see what the final effect is on all of us for this. Does anybody have any questions going so far, or uh, does anybody have any questions?
Jerry, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah,
So, just to make sure I'm following. All right, this is really good. So you stated what the ceilings are,
yes,
okay? And so you're stating that the next things you're trying to do is trying to identify based on how the people are manipulating with the day traders and stuff.
yeah,
You're trying to figure out um, out of that perfect scenario, where are we at based on that negative input? Is that what we're talking about?
exactly. Yes.
Okay. So besides you doing all of this, is there any action items for those that are the coin holders that are planning on doing this long term? Is there
Yes.
okay, what would that be?
Thank you. That's actually a segue for the next topic I want to talk about. Is there any other questions, or can we just go into the segue, or can we just go into the next topic?
That's all I had. I'll leave it open for somebody else.
Okay. So going forward, thank you, Dennis, for that question. What can holders do? Basically, there's two things we got to do. One, I understand that it's very difficult to sell TradeBot when we're down. So one thing that we can do is right now the market the way it is right now, Bitcoin is at around 50,000. I'm fairly certain that Bitcoin's going to come back up. I mean, I showed you the trends. I showed you the halving effect. Um, a lot of people are banking on Bitcoin and Solana going back up. And when that happens, then TradeBot will automatically start going up. And then from there, it's a lot easier to then share with your friends and family. Like, look, this coin is uh, on the up and up. Very honest team of people. These guys are here for the long haul, and you can see that they're progressing up. Okay, and then when you can show that and you can make a case for it, then it's a lot easier for you to then show people like, yeah, you should get into this. As soon as we beat 1.013, then it gets even easier because and then at that point, pretty much everybody will be in the green. And when everybody's in the green, then it's so much more easier to just show everybody, look, I've already made this much, and then it's easier to then bring in more people. Um, and so that's one thing that you can do. If you are hesitant and don't feel like you can't go out and share this with friends, like here's the thing, like it's kind of like you have to believe in the product, right? Like if you think that this is truly the way out of the rat race, think about that. If this is truly the way for you out of your 9 to 5 job, you get to, buy some rental properties, you get to live off passive income, you get to work on a ministry or something like that, or you get to, I'm hoping that you'll be working on the ministry and not throwing it away. And, like, yeah, you can go enjoy yourself, but eventually that's a dangerous route, right? Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't want to preach, but anyways, but what I'm saying is like, really imagine that. What would it be like if you were able, if you had all of that, right? Because that's the goal of this. The goal is not to invest like $500 and be like, oh yeah, I made $1,000. This is a great investment for me. No, the goal of this is to get out of the rat race. Like, I want everybody here to be out of the rat race. I'm done. This is, it's all, life is about, spending time with family. Life is about, serving God's will and helping other people out. Like, that's what life is all about, right? And so, do you believe in the product? Like, do you believe that we can actually get there with this? And that's the question you got to ask yourself. Because if you truly do believe in it, right, then why the heck are you not getting your friends and family on this? Why the heck would you, like, you would be pushing it, like, guys, this is it. This is the ticket for us. We got to get out of here. This is it right here. Um, but I understand, like, the numbers are very. If you see red, it's difficult to sell people on that, right? I get that. So just be aware of it. Like, just be cognizant of the idea that if you do truly believe in it, this is something that you would definitely want to be sharing with somebody else, and you're not going to look like, you won't feel like like a scammy salesperson. You're going to be driven with passion of, this is our way out of here. Like, this is how we're going to make it happen, type of thing. The next thing is, what else can you do? An easy thing that is not as high pressure as going out and selling to your friends and family and to your neighbors and all that. An easier thing is rating. So all a rate is on the Twitter accounts, and we've seen a lot of success with this. We've seen people purchasing from the raids. We've seen people join our Twitter account. We're now at 897. We're like around 800-ish followers on Twitter, and and like a week or two ago, we're like around 500. I have to go back and get the actual numbers, but we see a growth in our Twitter account, and all we have to do is just continue doing that process. And I know that raids are very they can be kind of annoying because you're sitting there rating all the time, but you do get paid in TradeBot. So, and so basically you're just helping the community in general. You're helping the TradeBot community. You're helping yourself because you're actually getting paid in TradeBot. By helping the community get bigger, you're also making the TradeBot price go up as more and more people start buying in. And eventually we're going to get to a point where the community is going to start building itself, basically. So before we were around 500, now we're at around 800. If we continue the raids, we'll get over to 1,000, right? Then we'll get to like 2,000. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where we're at 10,000, 20,000. And by growing that, then we're going to start seeing more activity coming in and people buying more. So, I mean, this is like, it's all a marathon. It's all about making sure that we focus on the day-to-day. We focus on execution. So if you want to take part in helping build the community and you can't go out and you don't feel comfortable going out and selling it to friends and family, then just get on Twitter raids and help us do that every day. If we can do 10 raids a day, that's going to help us tremendously. You'll definitely see tangible benefit from that. If you're ever concerned about the volatility of crypto, yes, it's okay for you to worry about that, but just know that the team behind all of this, we're here for the long haul. Like, I'm not going to, first of all, I'm not going to rug pull, right? I have friends and family in this. My reputation is on the line. And another thing is, I'm here for the long haul. I've been through ups and downs. I've seen what the crypto market is capable of, and we designed TradeBot so that it can handle that volatility, basically. So we're here for the long haul, and you can see in the simulations I'm planning out between 6 months, a year, 5 years, and I even have simulations out to 30 years. This is all about we want to be a blue chip token. Or we want to be known as a blue chip token. Like, I don't know how publicized we want to get out there. Like, I want to stay, I kind of want to stay under the radar. I want us to just be able to execute on our plan, mathematically, and just be able to benefit all of our holders. I'm not interested in, like, being on the front page of like a coin market blog or anything like that, or on what is it, MSNBC. Like I'm not interested in being on MSNBC or anything like. I don't want any of that. I don't want like fame or anything like that. I just want to execute. That's all I care about. And so yeah, it's kind of like finding the balance there. And so yeah, so back to answer the question of what can I do as a holder? I would say the biggest thing you can do is get on raids with us, because that's the most tangible way that you can make everything grow. Back to the marketing dollars. If you guys as holders want to come together and raise up funds on your own to be able to pay for campaigns, I am definitely all for that. We've already seen the benefit of it going up 20%. However, nothing beats the bot. Like, I am regretting putting that money in, because that money would have been better suited for the engine to make more profit for us. And so I'm making up my mind here. Like, yeah, I'm going to focus on the trading engine, and I'm going to focus on the daily burns, and that's going to be my goal going forward. I'm looking at this more as a marathon. We're gonna build it out. If we continue executing on the raid to pay, or pay to get paid to raid program, then we'll be able to get community growth from there. And then on top of that, we have Davonta's B2B company that is very exciting, and they're going to be able to help us with that income portion as well. Okay, and then if you've forgotten how to get paid to raid, all you have to do is, when you go to Discord and you click on official links here. So when you go to the Discord and you go to official links here, you're going to see a link that says get paid to raid. Click on this, and then it'll take you through all of the instructions. You need a Phantom wallet, and you need 5,000 TradeBot for you to enroll into the program. This thing will take you will tell you to open up your Telegram. It'll send you an invite to our group. Once you join that group, you then register with our bot, and then from there you can start raiding. It's pretty straightforward, and there's instructions there to help you along. Okay, and then finally, next steps. Oh, next things is B2B. So, Davonta, are you still on? Yes,
Yeah, I'm
he
on.
is.
Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yep. Can you? Do you want to give us an update?
Yeah, sure. I could on my screen.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah. Let me check it out real quick. Yes, I can.
All right. So I'll give you a brief demo of what we have so far. So when you go into the app, this is like the landing page, where you're able to, it's like a small video of the clothing brand that we're building this out for. Um, the taskbar here, or navigation bar, we have the home button, shop, tag, wish list, the account button. So I'll explain the shop functionality, which is not complete yet. But this is where we're going to have all of the products. Right now, we just have like these cards with just the text in it, and we don't have it like styled or anything yet. But this is pulling from a database, like blue tights, the stretch jeans. The bag will be where you're going to eventually check out. The wish list will be like items where you wish to shop later. And then we have an account page where you're able to look at terms and conditions, privacy policy, your order history, things like that. This page isn't complete as well. We
Could
also
you?
have login
Uh,
functionality that's
I have a question. Can you
yeah.
kind of give me an overview of what the B2B is to do besides the navigation of the screens? Can you kind of give me a higher view of what's the
This is an
correlation,
e-commerce.
and how does it help TradeBot?
Yeah, so the whole purpose of the B2B is we're making mobile applications for businesses, and then by us doing that, we're creating revenue. and that revenue, a portion of that revenue besides paying the devs is going into TradeBot engine. This is just a way of generating revenue for a TradeBot. So this
Can you wait up?
application,
Can you show them? Can you show them the checkout screen? Or I don't know if you have the wireframe for the checkout screen.
no, oh yeah.
So basically, they're charging a service fee for every transaction, and they still have to figure out the numbers, right? But a portion of that will then go towards TradeBot itself.
So this is kind of like a lack of a better term, an add-on value to a person that knows nothing about crypto. They're just going there to buy merchandise,
Yeah.
and they're automatically getting something that's.
So
Well, no,
yeah, go for it.
yeah. So think of this as a way where TradeBot can generate revenue. So just think of it as if we were outside selling snow cones or something like that. It's just a way to generate revenue. Now, this app in particular is an e-commerce app for a clothing line. So we have other apps that we're building in a pipeline. The next app that we're building is for a fitness gym. The next app after that is for a barber college, and then the next app after that is for a daycare. So we have apps in a pipeline that we're going to be building, and then we have
Wait,
a way
can
where
I
we can.
can I stop you right
Yeah, go
there?
ahead.
So the reason that they are building out these apps is because they already have potential clients lined up for these. So these are like mom and pop shops that are not modernized yet. They need point of contact systems, and they need some way to manage all the data. And so basically what they're doing is they're building these tools that allow these businesses to modernize, and it's free. Like it's kind of like it's it's free to use, or it's free to what's the right word? You implement it for free, right? They can start using it like on a trial basis, but the way we generate revenue is by the service fee there.
Okay. So if I was to try to summarize this, I'm trying to correlate it to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Is this kind of like what the banking people called, keep the change or whatever, to where you have a particular transaction, and they kind of round it up to the nearest 50 cents or whatever, and that portion goes in this little savings account that these big banks do. So is this kind of like the same thing, to where it's like keep the change or whatever, but instead of it being a coin, or a coin, it's going to be in a trade bot? Is that kind
Yes.
of how it's
So
working?
a portion of this will go towards a portion of this will actually go inside the trading engine, because the trading engine, once you put principal in it, you don't lose principal. It's
Right.
just generating profit from it, right? So basically, this is a way to add a few more dollars into the trading engine so that we can accelerate it up to that $10,000 buy burn rate.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it from the consumer standpoint, to where they're getting an additional added benefit with no effort. Helps us, helps them,
Well,
and they don't even need to know anything about
yeah,
crypto.
they don't even need, but the thing is, there is no benefit. If they own TradeBot, there's a benefit.
Right.
If they don't own TradeBot, there is no benefit for them. But the business, if they own TradeBot, there is a benefit for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're, of course, they also get a benefit from the actual application itself, because it allows them to run their business smoothly.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I kind of get the principle of it. All right. Thanks.
Hey, Jared, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So when you're creating this application for them, the proceeds go into TradeBot, and then also there's a way for them to fund the engine through the app with their purchases. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that so that service fee, right? Just imagine this, like they're buying, their clothes with this, but then the service fee of $3, the $3 will go into the trading engine. Or $1 will go to the trading engine, and $2 will go to Davonta's company. We still got to work out the numbers basically, but this is what we're trying to do. Davonta has put, from a business plan perspective, I don't know if you want to discuss that also, but basically Davonta has figured out uh, I guess a design pattern for the business that will allow him to just replicate this over and over and over again with different consumers or different business customers, right? And then from there, he'll be able to build off of this. And so there's going to be a lot of, I guess you can call them residuals, but there will be a lot of sales being done through all of these customers as we grow this. And then it'll add even more into the trading engine, which will
Yeah.
then be generating, 1 to 8% per month with that capital, never losing the capital. So it's like a perpetual buyer, a perpetual investor at that point. And this, we're just feeding the bot. We're fueling it. Devontae's coming in with big gasoline jugs and just dousing it in there.
So the $3 service fee on the screen, that's going to TradeBot.
Yeah.
And the business knows that every purchase, there's going to be a service fee added to it,
Yes.
along with what they are charging.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so basically, they're going to be paying for the application. Think of it as a streaming service. They're going to have to pay either depending on the nature of their business. The nature of their business is a lot of transactions. Then we'll just charge them per transaction. So we can just charge them like 3% or whatever percent per transaction if they have, 50 to 100 transactions per month, more than that. If it's a company that doesn't have a lot of transactions, then they'll be paying like a subscription based monthly. So maybe they're paying $500 per month for this application. So it really just depends on the nature of the business and how they get paid from their customers.
So the business pays for this $3, not the consumer.
No, the consumer
Well,
always pays for it.
yeah, the consumer pays for it. The company can eat the cost if they wanted to, but essentially they don't have to. They can just charge similar, like if you go to a gas station and use credit card and it's under like $2 or $3, they'll say like that you have to spend a certain amount, or if not, they're going to charge you a certain percentage for using a credit card or something like that. Because the reason why is because they're getting charged by the credit card company for the transaction fees.
Yeah, I mean, this is all about, it's up to the company on how they want to do that. If they want to pass the fee forward or not. I'm assuming they would, though. And yeah, it's a service fee, not for buying TradeBot. That's the thing. It's a service fee for using Davonta's company. And it's Turek, right? That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Davonta's company is Turek, and if you want to, so they have to. He has developers working for him right now. Okay, so they also have to get paid. He has to manage, income expenses for all this stuff. So I was just simplifying the message. There's going to be a portion. So the thing is that we want to make this self-sustainable, right? Like Alturek's going to have to survive on his own type of thing, right? And this is what the business model is all about: is that survival. However, Davonta is also invested in TradeBot, and he wants TradeBot to go up, right? He believes in it, and so a portion of that $3 will go towards TradeBot itself. He still has to work the numbers and all that, right? But once he figures it out, then he can start feeding our trading engine with this income that will then slowly build up to where we can get it to snowball into that $10,000 healing rate. Because that's the goal that we want to get to. We want to get it to where it is just healing like crazy, and then people will be able to start, selling and cashing out and be able to enjoy, the fruit of all of this labor, basically.
Yep. And I want to show you just one more thing really quick. It'll only take about 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
And also, the way that the community can help with this is if you know any small businesses that may have may not have a mobile application, and if you want to ask them about it, and they may be interested in something like this, then you can always like let the team know on the Discord. Right now we do have a backlog of customers, but it's
That's
always
awesome.
great to add more add more customers. Like I was telling Jerry, once we build, for instance, once we build up one or two e-commerce sites, the way that we're developing this is that we can reuse the same code base. So essentially, think of it as we're able to resell the same product without having to put extra effort into it. So it's just like with Netflix. Netflix created the platform, and whenever they sell a subscription, they don't have to go and build it again. They just sell it to another customer. And so that's how we're building our model. Is that no matter if we build one type of app for industry, we're able to sell that same service to other businesses that are similar.
Yeah, and can I add to this real quick?
Yeah.
Can you go to the admin panel? So this is the benefit that companies get. When you go to, so this is the account
Oh,
profile, right? By the way, the account profile is very difficult to do. From a development perspective, security is huge. Being able to do the OAuth, build a profile out, all that stuff, like that's usually the hardest stuff. They've already got that done. So they're already pretty much going downhill from difficulty perspective. The rest of the stuff's easy. That's the products page category. That's easy. They already got the hard stuff done, which is awesome. I love that. And then the second thing is when you go to the admin page here, the benefit that companies get is they can start putting their inventory in here and have it already listed on the cloud with the database that you just saw him, the Firebase database. So they're able to put in all of their inventory and keep track of it, and then from there they'll be able to automatically connect to like a service like Stripe or PayPal, and then they'll be able to start accepting credit card payments. And the benefit of
And
this,
also,
oh, go for it.
oh yeah, go ahead with the benefit.
The benefit of this is that you're probably like, well, wait up, they can. There's already software out there doing for it. No, when you get to the business level, it's so much more expensive. And with this, we're able to undercut competition and still be able to provide a great value. So this is what's really got me excited about it.
Yeah.
And
And so,
So
say for instance,
yeah,
so
oh, go ahead.
I'm just looking on the right side. Looks like you just got this going for Android. Are you going to be doing anything with the iPhone?
Yep, this is. Oh, and that's another thing. The way that we're building this is it's a cross-platform language that we're building. And so once I push this code base, I can have it on Android and iOS with the same code base.
yep, they're using Ionic for that.
Good. Okay. I like that. Thanks.
And so,
oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say one more thing was shoot, I was all excited about it. Go for it. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Okay, so right here, what you're looking at, let me close it, is the admin page. And so I want to show you how this works. So, and as an admin, as the business owner, you'll be able to have access to this admin page where you can add your inventory. We have products, we have categories, and also on this order page, you'll be able to search a customer's order history by their email address. That way, say if you have to give a refund or you need to check the status of an order. But let's say if we and the styling of it is not complete yet. Right now we're just doing the functionality. But let's say you wanted to add a product, right? Um, and quantity. Also, once I hit this add product, this is going to be added to our database. And then on our shop page, that product is then going to be populated on the shop. And what I'm working on now as well is this get photo functionality. So not only will you be able to add that product into the database, but you're going to be able to add a corresponding photo that you want to be added to the shop page. So I'm just going to add this product. It was added successfully. If I go to my database here, you see, here it is, Long John's Winter Wear and the
Nice.
product. And if I go over to my tab. Now you see that it was added.
That's awesome. I remember what I was going to say. This is back. So what Davonta said about you don't have to rebuild the app over and over again, right? Like all of this functionality is generic for pretty much any business. You know what I'm saying? Like any business is going to have some sort of inventory you're going to sell. So this right here is tailored towards clothes. And so if you get more customers that are they're just selling some sort of merchandise. All they got to do is just update the branding for them, and there's very minimal work that has to go back and retooling it for a new customer. And so this is the replication process that Davonta's talking about.
Yeah. So is this a single database with multiple tenants in it, or I'm curious about the architecture.
Well, we're using Google's Firebase, and you can make as many databases as you want. And the thing that about Firebase is it has storage, it has authentication, and it is very, very inexpensive. Like this probably will cost less than $20 a month, like maybe like $4 or $5 a month for all of these services, as opposed to using like AWS. You're probably going to be paying like $100 to $200 a month.
Yeah. So Dennis, if you're interested, so Davonta, Dennis has a lot of history or a lot of experience with automation, scalability. So if you just send him an invite for the B2B group, and it's just a channel, Dennis, you can just join it, I think, right now on Discord. But yeah, if you guys wanted to connect and see, just show him a little bit and see how Dennis can contribute with that. He's very, very business savvy and tech savvy. So
Yeah, we'll definitely take it offline. So yeah, I appreciate that.
yeah.
You'll have to show me how to add members.
Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it.
Okay.
Does anybody else
Okay.
have any other questions?
Do we have a timeline?
Yes.
Yeah. So this will be done. We'll have this fully completed. I think it was
The 27th.
Was it the 26th, 27th? Yeah, 27th.
Completed
So
as
everything will be
everything's thoroughly been tested and
It'll
regression
be
tested.
it'll be an MVP by the 27th.
Okay. All right. So we're talking in MVP for just user acceptance or
Well, the goal is to have all of this. We're submitting this to the App Store by the 27th. Now, how long will it take for them to accept it? Because they're going to have to go through our code base and things like that. But we want everything completed, at least on our end, by the 27th. And so this weekend, I'm going to have a big effort to finish a lot of these pages.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
And the thing is that the dev team, we're all like learning a lot of this stuff. Like I'm the only one that knows Angular really, and I just learned Ionic. I learned Ionic some years ago, but I'm relearning it.
Yeah.
And so I'm really teaching the dev team as we're going. So that's the only reason why it's taking so long. But as we learn the language and the framework and how we want to do things, and pretty much like like our template, then we'll be able to push these apps out within a couple weeks, and really just like have them made like hotcakes.
That would be awesome.
Thanks.
And of course, Dennis, please, you can get involved and help with quality control also as well.
Yeah, I'd be happy to donate some time with that. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get this all out the door and stuff. I'd like to just make sure that it's solid. We got the regression testing, all that good fun stuff, all in place.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys doing backups, daily backups onto GitHub or anything like that?
Yep. We have a repo with Jira DevOps where we have everything. We have different branches, feature branches. We have main branches.
Good.
Yep. So we're fully functioning agile team.
Awesome. Yep. I like that. Thanks.
Yep. So that's all I really had. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Davonta. All right,
No
so
problem.
I think that pretty much covers everything. Oh, so the last thing is next steps going forward. I think we kind of already covered that, but I wanted to open the floor. I wanted to open the floor for all of you guys. If you guys had any suggestions or anything like that, what we talked about pay to raid, right? So I explained a good way for people to join in and figure out how to contribute without having to sell to family and friends. Family and friends is the most important thing. If you can get more family and friends on here, that just benefits us. Um, we want to be able to, okay, we can talk about that. So we're looking at the numbers to get to actually $10,000 per month generation. That is $6.6 million in the trading engine. So if we have $6.6 million in the trading engine, we're going to be generating $10,000 a day and doing buying and burning. So that's where you're going to get the dollar value of a trade bot. And that's where we're able to maintain it so that there isn't multiple losers, right? We're making it so that a person sells out, there's still money left over in the liquidity pool so that other people can then sell out and be able to enjoy the fruit of TradeBot, basically. So we have to either build the community by having more people buy in, or we have to do what's called OTCs, which is over-the-counter sales. And that is when investors, I go to investors and they buy a large portion of TradeBot directly from me, and then I take that TradeBot or I take those proceeds and put it into the trading engine. Okay. And another thing we already talked about the B2B business where they're going to start developing multiple applications for customers, and then a portion of that revenue is then going to go into the trading engine as well, where then we'll be able to start. We'll be able to accelerate the heal rate as well on that too. So the whole goal is we have to be able to start. We got to feed the bot basically, and so right now, 6.6 million is that's an eventual step we want to get to. But I also have 300 million TradeBot token in the dev wallet. So as the price starts increasing, right, then I'll incrementally start selling the TradeBot that we have to then go in and feed the bot itself. So if we get to 1 cent, right? Ideally, if you take 1 cent and what is 6.6 million divided by 1 cent? I can't do it in my head right now. I apologize. So 666.
It's a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
660 million. So it's 660 million, right? That's more than what we have, which is 300 million. So let's say we sell 0.05 times 5 cents divided by a million, or a million divided by 0.5. Oh, that's 20 million. So if we get to 5 cents, right? I can sell, ideally, you can't really do this, but the math is there basically. 0.0, or it's approximate. If it ever reaches 5 cents, I can sell 20 million TradeBot and get $1 million. So that $1 million is already, that goes right into the trading engine, and then we just accelerate the healing even more for that. So that's part of the things that I'm working on with the white paper is figuring out the stair step, or the steps that we have to take. When do we sell? What price points? So that we can slowly start building ourselves up to that $6.6 million goal, so that we are now generating $10,000 on average per day. All right. And if we can start doing that, I think we've all won at that point. Like, like this is now people can start saying like, yes, it's time. Let me go buy my island. You can't afford an island, but you can like you'll be like, all right, I can start figuring out how to retire now. So yeah, so back to so we have to. It's going to be like it's like a marathon, right? Where you gotta approach it incrementally. So the first goal, so $270,000 should get us to a $500 buy rate. So I need to put in 270,000 into the trading engine. I actually just put in 5,000 just recently, so now we're at 265,000. So our goal is to be able to build the trading engine or be able to get more revenue in there so that we can then start accelerating the healing rate. Once we get to that $500 healing rate, you guys already saw on the white paper that it was able to increase the price dramatically, but that's on the upper end. We're going to deal with buyers and sellers and all of that. So you're not going to see that. You probably won't see an incredible growth in price like the way it is in the white paper, but it'll be approximate to that, right? A little bit below it. So the first goal is we got to be able to generate $270,000. The problem is I don't want to sell all of our token because, like I said before, 20 million at 5 cents will give you $1 million. 20 million TradeBot at 5 cents will give you $1 million. So I'm trying to save as much of our token as much as possible. And the math that I've calculated is that I should only be selling tokens at a 0.002 price rate at minimum. So I should not be, I don't want to do any OTC sales for now. I only want to sell. So our goal is how do we get the price to 0.002 without wasting money? And so it's going to be through our organic means. So it's got to be through the pay to raids, right? It's got to be through our current buy and burning right now. And it's going to be through family and friends purchasing from the liquidity pool directly. So right now we're kind of like in a holding pattern. You can see with the B2B project, everybody is building. We're like slowly building everything up. Our product as the trading engine is pretty much 99% complete because I can't think of I'm trying to think of new ways to make it better, but I mean we're good on it. So I'm more focused on the day to day and making sure that we're getting our daily burns in, right? So that we build credibility and we do get some price action. And then the final thing is I'm waiting for Bitcoin and Solana to go up as well. So once Solana starts going up, then you're going to see the price of TradeBot automatically increase as well. And our goal is basically to get that 0.002 price point because I can guarantee you as soon as we start getting up to the 0.0015 price, people are going to start calling me back. People are going to be like, whoa, this thing's going up. Like, what the heck? And I'm like, you should have bought the dip. But anyway, that's when we're going to start getting those conversations going again. I guarantee it because they're going to see like, oh, wow, this thing's here to stay type of thing. So we just have to like weather the storm, make sure that we're executing on a day-to-day basis, and we're going to start seeing that credibility build up, and we're going to start seeing people wanting to FOMO back into our coin. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. We went pretty long, but there was a lot of information. Did you have something, Big Mac?
No, I think he's just muted.
Oh,
Unmuted.
okay. All right, guys. Well, you guys have
Wait, what?
Where I can't summon. I mean, I guess yeah, it's not a passive.
Huh?
No, his mic's just unmuted.
DLC bosses.
He's listening to the stream.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah, just mute him. Mute him.
All right. So
Kick him.
kick him. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, and you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks
See ya.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.